remember that there was a big ad in the presidential campaign. Kamala Harris is for they, them. Donald Trump is for you. I don't know why Democrats don't go, that's right, Donald Trump is for you. If you ran an international sex trafficking ring that didn't, and show Ghislaine Maxwell, Donald Trump is for you. If you are a billionaire tech company owner who wants to get out of tariffs, Donald Trump is for you. Like, and define who you is and use that against them. Like, David, this gets to your point, and I wanted to talk to you about this. You wrote an article saying a lot of the shit that Donald Trump does can be applied right back to Republicans that they don't. And to Tim's point, they do have opportunities to do that, but they don't take it. And I think we have a tendency to blame the consultant class, the political class, the thing. But this party is ripe for the type of takeover that Trump was able to pull off in 2016. I'm sure of it. And what does that look like, David? You did kind of a thought experiment on that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the thought experiment was like, okay, the Trump administration is obviously operating on this theory that like no one will ever get their hands on this like earth scorching apparatus that they're building out of the White House. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not necessarily like endorsing a lot of the things that I floated as like what we could do. Right. But it would fit into those general categories. Right. And it's like constant culture warring, you know. Like rename Reagan National Airport, George Floyd National Airport. Right? Like just you wake up in the morning and you're like, how can I make the other side angry and miserable and deflated?
Can I just say, I think that would probably backfire.
I know. Yes.
That one in particular.
That's not any of my Reagan love coming in. There's no bad ideas in a brainstorm, but just throwing that one out there.
No. The point is not that this would make us popular, right? The point is like the point is to highlight the absurdity.
This was the beginning of the contract for America. This is how it starts.
Colin Kaepernick National Airport. I don't know.
There you go.
You could imagine like 50 different ways to do this.
Take a knee, International Airport.
Right. But it's like I think that Democrats need to start thinking about like if the Supreme Court, right? The Supreme Court still has not ruled on a lot of the things that Trump is doing. Right? They've issued rulings on the emergency docket, but in theory, like the ability of Trump to just like fire people on the National Labor Relations Board, for example, that remains to be litigated in a sort of in a decisive fashion, right? And I think that Democrats need to start thinking about, you know, how can we use like if these principles are allowed to stand, right? If the next Democratic president takes office under the unitary executive theory, under the sort of the Roberts Court's creation of an imperial presidency, how should we approach that? Are there things that we could do that would be good public policy, and then highlight the things that I think are like, well, this is ridiculous, right? Like you don't want to govern in a way that I call it abusive federalism, right? Where you're picking on blue states, you're highlighting, you're like threatening to invade only blue states, you're talking about people in those places like they're subhuman,